Ladies and gentlemen, cover your feet and toes because Mr. Snack is back by popular demand.
Baby, I want you bad. Baby, baby, baby.
Welcome to MR.SNACKS Cafe. My name is Hiroshi, and this is podcast number 3. We're rolling. I'd like to open it up with this story, if I can remember it right. It takes place in Greece. There's this great astrologer, very famous in those days, fell into a well. Because during the night, he was looking up at the stars, the moon, and all that, just looking up into the sky. While he was walking on this dirt road, he forgot that there was a well by the side, and he fell into it. The sound of his falling and his screaming out and for help, an old woman who lived in a hut not too far away, came out, heard the screaming, and helped him to get out of the well. Of course, he was very, very thankful, very grateful. He said, "Hey, you saved my life. And do you know who I am?" She says, "Not really. Should I? And he said that I'm a very famous, well-known astrologer. And I charge a lot for my advice. And I even have kings and royalty that wait for weeks to consult me. But for you, because you saved me, I will predict your future. You come tomorrow to my place, and I won't charge you. It's free." She laughed. She said, "You can't even see 2 feet in front of you. How can you see my future? Come on." Little rhythm there. Bring me back in. A few conversations over the phone past few days, asking my thoughts on what's going on, and some interesting conversations. But my thoughts, man is not the thinker of the thoughts, right? We claim ownership. The ego is a claimer. It says mine. And just because I'm aware of the sound of let's say, a plane, it doesn't mean that the plane belongs to me. Likewise, being aware of thoughts does not mean that the thoughts belong to me. The me, the I, referring to is just a thought. As I expressed in my previous podcasts, you say I'm doing the dishes, I'm going to the store, doing an errand, playing the piano. That's what's happening. But then the thought, which is a creation of the mind, comes up with, it's me that's playing the piano. It's me that's doing the dishes, me that's going to the store. Yes, going to the store is happening, playing the piano is happening, but this me, this I, is a mental fabrication, a fictional character, an illusion. There's no I. But in this manifestation, of course, to communicate, we use I and me. From the point of view of a person, individual, problems never cease. There's always problems every day. But from the point of view of life, the totality, there are no problems. Do you hear life complaining about life? So problems are all mental. You notice in deep sleep, there are no problems. The mind is dormant. There's no world. You disappear. You don't even feel the bed you're lying on. You're in a room, but you are not aware. There's no room. There's no world. Everything disappears. But when you awaken in the morning, that just a few seconds right there when you just start to open your eyes, the mind is awakened. And then you notice thoughts come rushing in. They're not your thoughts. You don't create your thoughts. They just happen. Oh, I'm going to be late for work. Oh, what am I going to do today? Oh, my goodness, this virus thing. Oh, I can't believe it's happening. Oh, the unrest, the news is just bad. On and on. Problems, all mental. They weren't there in deep sleep. So we live in a world of thoughts. So much talk since the Obama presidency is change. And energy, all there is energy. We covered that. It will continue to expand and go deeper. But energy is all there is. And energy constantly changes and transforms. It sophisticates. And for the world to change is what we want, it seems, is preconditioned on the acceptance of what is. Once accepted, there's no need for the world to change because it's changing on its own. And life, which the mind labels as there's a purpose, there's a meaning, what about the purposeless life? Things happen, events occur, and in their natural course, one need not do anything or be anything. So there is this claim of ownership. Thoughts arise, they come and go. They're not permanent, they're not real. Where are yesterday's thoughts? Where is the thought you had 5 minutes ago? It's gone. So how can it be real if it's missing, if it's not there? So the thoughts we hear within ourselves, we say, it's my thought, but we didn't create the thought, right? I'm driving along, and all of a sudden, it's the other day, oh, it would be nice to have a gelato, some ice cream. I didn't create that thought. It just arose out of nowhere. I just watched it. It was amazing. And then, do I have any control? Well, the mind says, well, let's find a gelato place. The intent is there, but I may end up there. Or I may not. Life is living me. So just like what? Puffs of cigarette smoke or cigar smoke. Or just smoke in general. Rising from the chimney of the mind and attaching attention to them is psychological suffering. Really. If you're intent, let's say I really intend, I want to go and have some Japanese food tonight at my favorite restaurant. And there's an attachment to that. That will make me happy. I'm looking forward to it. You arrive there and the place is closed. Then you're disappointed. You're suffering because you didn't get what you wanted. But if there's no attachment to it, you arrive there, it's closed, you go and say, okay, life has a different direction for me to go to. I'll have Italian. And it may end up being the better choice, or it may not. But you are cool with life as it is, whether you like it or not. Everything in life is perfect as it is. Sounds very radical. You're not going to like what I am sharing, I'm sure, but it is what it is. Everything causes everything else. The mind is the fixer. The mind is the judge. It concludes. It's the organizer. All this, it loses its relevance. As I've shared, thoughts, contents. Why does one claim their ownership? Why does one claim their ownership? Is every sound that I hear mine? No. Just because I can hear them? The same with thoughts. They're not mine. They're just thoughts arising. So what's the consequence of that? Do we blame someone else? Do we condemn someone else, criticize them? And is not the thinker. So with this understanding, of course there's this habit. How can someone think that way or say this? But then the response comes in the form of understanding that they had no choice. They have no control. And so you don't give weight to their thoughts or my own thoughts. Just thoughts, just words in the mind only, not in life. An illusion of sound.
Let's go.
Tracing words on the fabric of my being. Your soft whispers tickle my morose dreams, carving sensations of desire, lighting up carnal fire. Your husky voice stroking gently my primal cravings. Baby, I want you bad. Is all I want you. Whispering, whispering, whispering. Baby, baby, whispering, 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 whispering.
From Trinidad to Barbados, Zimbabwe to London, from Japan to the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Here he is, he's back. Mr. Snack.
I'm back.
By popular demand.
Thanks, Dave.
I can hear him smacking now.
These thoughts, they intrude. They're like unwelcome guests at a barbecue. We just celebrated the 4th. Many of us. But these thoughts, if ignored and unfed, they're not giving attention to, there's no energy towards them. What happens? They depart. They leave. They don't stick around. Okay? So, and it's so easy. It just happens. The thoughts occur, and it happened to me no different than anyone else. This weekend, the 4th, day of celebration. I don't have any fireworks. The thought comes up. I'm not invited to a barbecue. I really don't have that many friends anyway in Vegas. Brother didn't call me. his wife. And then the thought, oh, you don't even have a girlfriend. You don't have a relationship. So I guess you're going to go out to eat, but you're going to eat by yourself. And so these are thoughts that kind of rush in a little bit to make you feel a little bad, depressed. But once you recognize a thought coming, you know it's going to bring their friends. And 15, 20 minutes later, you're going to really feel bad. So ignore them. Don't feed them. Just watch. Witness the thoughts. But there's no attachment, because that attachment is suffering. That believing the thought is suffering. And you get tired, sick and tired of being sick and tired, because every time that happens, that's the result. And sometimes life can be painful, whereas pain is a physical experience. Suffering is a mental one. And this suffering, it's the sense that things should be other than they are. The solution, its antidote, is acceptance. All right? What is called peace by most is, I would label it as merely the absence of disturbance. You're not disturbed, like deep sleep. True peace cannot be disturbed. It resides beyond the reach of disturbance. And when life throws you some curveballs, the unexpected, like what we're going through now, it's very, very difficult, very tough on many people. There are many perspectives, many, many answers. Yet in the end, when I'm asked what's going on, why this, why that, the best answer to why is why not? Really. Towards the end, hopefully this has been helpful, but don't come to me and so that your questions may be answered. But come, really, participate in this podcast, so that in order that the answers I give you may be questioned. Do your own research, do your own investigation. And if self-inquiry happens, it's great. Just look into it. I'm not a teacher. I'm just sharing an understanding that has happened to me. That's all. I'm not telling you or giving you any advice what to do, just a sharing. Just look at it that way. And anyway, a friend of mine, Betsy, we had lunch one time, and she was sharing that her thoughts were just driving her crazy. And I just said, just watch them. You notice that man is not the thinker. We are not the thinker of our thoughts. The thoughts just happen to us. There's a quote that the mind makes a great servant, but a terrible master. And thinking happens to man, In fact, thinking really creates more problems than it solves. Unhappiness comes to us through two doorways. The first doorway is named not getting what you want, and the name of the second doorway is getting what you want. Either takes you there, the former faster. Yes, and I look at this as the understanding, and once you see this, that the chasing of this happiness or fulfillment is an ongoing chase. You never arrive. It's like trying to capture water with a net. How, like a dog chasing its tail, what happens to the dog? It becomes dizzy. So the outcome is you just trust the intelligence of life. The wanting drops, the expectations drop away, and you just live in the here and now. So this trust in life itself, the aliveness, you can call it the source, the universe, God. These are just words that just point. Words are pointers. And then you become steady, you become more relaxed in life, not anxious, but just living in the moment, which you are already. And the music you're hearing is from my album, Light and Sound, and this particular tune, Whispering, featuring spoken word poetry from Rohini, my dear friend from India. Take care.